What's up, guys? Hook is back with another episode of Hook's Hangar, I guess number 2. And like I said, I wanted to do some gear reviews, so we're going to do that. We got a new piece of gear just added to the pit, and it's a little bit temporary, as you guys can see, because I electrical tape to it. But this will become more permanent later. So what do we have? This is the FSX Dual Intercom controller. So this actually interfaces with your PC and with your audio system to allow you to have real aviation headsets plug into this box, and then you can have up to 2 here. You now have an intercom, and that is totally independent of anything in the computer or simple radio standalone or any sim. The intercom works completely on its own, and the intercom can be controlled with your squelch and your volume controls here. More on that in a minute. And then you have a master audio knob right here. That is for the audio coming from the PC. So what does this allow you to do? Well, I have a 2-person setup here, right? Even though that looks like a racing pit, actually the Rio can sit there for the Tomcat, or the Gunner and the Gazelle, or a Hind. And you guys can talk to each other with these aviation headsets. What do you know? I happen to have one right here. And you get all that intercom without having to mess with something like SRS, because it does get loud in here. And even though you're sitting next to each other, if you're using the realistic audio I use in my pit, the butt kicker, everything else, it can get pretty intense. So we got the headset plugged in. I'm going to power it up. And it's on. And now we have a couple settings. You can either do basically always on voice activation for the intercom, or for the radio, or you can do push to talk. The intercom is always on, just like it would be in a real aircraft. So as soon as you plug in and adjust your squelch, you can hear each other. But the radio button, or the radio transmission capability, works a little different. So when it's in intercom mode, inside this box, you can always hear each other, but the PC is not going to hear any audio unless, for the microphone, the push to talk button's pushed. Now this is really cool. And kind of my first complaint is you have to buy these separate. They're pretty cheap, but the push to talk switches, it can support up to 2. You do have to buy separate. More on that in a second. So they come with some Velcro, and I actually just Velcro mounted my push-to-talk switch on my HOTAS, and that frees up all my other controls. So I have a very realistic, very cool, dedicated push-to-talk button. And then when it's pushing in, you get a transmission light for each channel. There's one for channel 2. And then if you go on the back of the panel here, you can override push-to-talk. And now both channels are actively transmitting to the radio. So what that means is now, just like a regular microphone, the microphone audio is going to your PC nonstop without interruption. You can still configure push to talk on your TeamSpeak or Simple Radio standalone app, but if you use the push to talk mode where you have to actually physically push the button, you could actually have, like, say, TeamSpeak on voice activation, and it wouldn't pick up anything until you push that button. So a little hard to explain, but hopefully you guys are getting the idea. That PTT doesn't let any microphone audio get to the computer unless you hit the push to talk button or have the push to talk button override activated. All right, so I'm going to let you guys kind of hear how this sounds on SRS. I think everything's configured. Give me just a second. We'll just do an audio test here. All right. And I'm going to put these to where you can hopefully get some of the audio back. Here's my David Clark headsets. Check 1, 2. Gotten a lot of feedback, so let's try that again here. Sorry for the terrible perspective. Check 1. So there's feedback, unavoidable because they're not on my head. But as you guys can see, you can hear a push-to-talk sound, right? Or you can hear the microphone keying up, right? It's kind of cool. So I think it provides some really convincing effects in the sim. And the ability to just on-the-fly control my audio, you know, my push to talk, or I'm sorry, my Simple Radio standalone or TeamSpeak audio volume right here is awesome. So it does come up as an independent audio device, independent from your high definition audio and all that stuff. It's the FSX Dual box. So along with my million other audio devices there, you can select that as an output and an input, meaning that you can have all your voice communications coming into this box and control it independently. So there are some downsides. I'm going to hit those real quick and then we'll wrap it up. Try to keep these under 10 minutes. First downside is, in order to have a functional push to talk that the PC can see that goes outside of that box, you have to get this app. And this should really come, if I have any remarks to FSX Dual, the manufacturer, this should come with the box. You shouldn't have to buy this separately for 30 bucks. But basically this lets you set the push to talk button as a character. And then you hit start. And now instead of just being something, the push to talk button being just something this box recognizes, sorry, can't talk, it's early. Now it actually comes in as a key command. Cool. I mean, you can use it for a lot more. You could actually, once we have DCS voice comms, you could actually use the PTT for DCS and it's going to detect that. But should I have to buy this separately from the box? No, that should be included. Sorry. My other complaint, I don't know, build quality concerns me a little bit on this box. I'm sure this isn't like mass produced, you know, maybe some of the stuff's 3D printed. This knob just fucking fell off basically. And I had to kind of put it back on there. May touch it up with a little glue. But that kind of sucks. The packaging underwhelmed me quite a bit. I wasn't totally stoked on it. I'll show you guys the package. I think I still got it over there. And the knobs, I mean, they don't feel bad, but they don't feel like what you would feel in a real airplane. They're definitely a step below that. I'll give you guys a closer view so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's my headset or if it's the box, but there's the little, yep, hear it. That connection static when I play with the connection. Could be my headset, it's old. And that's absolutely present in real aircraft most of the time. So just be advised of that. I'm going to turn down the knobs here and kill the box. And then two other complaints. The packaging, you know, was alright. I mean, it's just kind of a black cardboard box. So I think it had some bubble wrap in there. And then the biggest complaint I've had is with the two push to talk switches I got. This one came from the manufacturer. It broken. Look at that case. See how that's damaged? So I've reached out to FSX Dual for a new one. Still works, but obviously that doesn't speak to longevity if it's broken from the factory. So it still works. We'll see if they send me a new one. If they do, I'll put an update so you guys know that they were cool and took care of business. Overall, though, man, it's a cool box. I definitely would recommend it. If you're into voice comms with TeamSpeak or Simple Radio standalone especially, man, it's awesome. It is awesome for that. You know, as far as voice options go, sometimes you have to be, if you're using a VR headset, you have to be conscious of what's going to work with that. And you also want to make sure if you're using something like this with external audio that you've got a microphone or a headset that's got some good noise canceling ability like a aviation headset would do. But aside from that, I give it a thumbs up. I recommend it. It plugs right into any general aviation headset. You can even get one with military connections for something like this one back here. I'm not using this right now, but it's got the military short plug connection. But the good news is you can get adapters that'll transfer that to GA. Okay, guys, well, right under 10 minutes, and hopefully it was worth your time. Do a couple more gear review here pretty soon, or gear reviews, sorry. I think what I'm going to do next is the butt kicker. And come on, focus. Whatever. I guess the video's ending out of focus. But yeah, next I'm going to do the butt kicker, go over how I integrated that, how it works. All right, guys, hook out.